Be ready. This is the moment. History is unfolding right before your eyes, even while the rest of the world remains unaware. This is not an ordinary week in August. Many will drift through it carelessly, treating it as just another stretch of time. But you, if you're awake, you'll sense it instantly. These days carry a weight, a rare energy that won't circle back once it passes. Hidden within them are signs, markers left only for those paying attention. Miss them, and you risk losing your alignment with what's coming. Notice them, and you'll step into a path few are allowed to see. Them, and you'll be standing exactly where destiny meant you to stand. And yet, this isn't the strangest part. The real twist is that 3 invisible strikes are lining up like a countdown. No one realizes has already started. This week, the moon refuses to stay quiet. Not once, not twice, but 3 separate times. Its energy collides with forces that twist and stretch the spiritual field like a pressure cooker. Each night builds on the one before until, by the end of the week, the tension is almost unbearable. You may not see it with your eyes, but you'll feel it, an intensity that doesn't let you rest, a current that forces you to confront something you've been avoiding. It's as if the moon itself is staging a 3-step initiation designed to test your beliefs, your attachments, and even your voice. And the deeper you go into this week, the stronger it gets. The atmosphere doesn't relax. It tightens, pushing, pressing, demanding movement. And just when you think you've figured out what's going on, something entirely unexpected crashes through. This exhaustion isn't weakness, it's expansion pain. If you've been dragging yourself out of bed, feeling like your body weighs twice as much as it used to, this isn't ordinary fatigue. Chosen ones, you are spiritually inflating. Your energy field is being stretched to fit something larger than you've ever carried before. Think of it like a balloon being filled. The rubber feels tense, heavy, on the edge of breaking, but it's only because it's preparing to hold more air, more space, more capacity. That's what's happening to you. You're not being drained. You're being rewired to carry something that hasn't landed yet. This is why you may feel bloated, dizzy, or even emotionally heavy. It's not collapse. It's preparation. The universe does not send gifts into containers too small to hold them. This is the pre-flight fatigue that comes right before a spiritual upgrade drops in. Your wariness is proof that something far bigger than you is arriving. So if you feel like your energy is collapsing, don't mistake it for defeat. It's the pressure before breakthrough, the growing pains before something unseen anchors itself into your life. When the moon touches Jupiter, it doesn't whisper, it shouts. And on August 19th, the sky itself becomes an amplifier. Jupiter expands everything it touches. With the moon that means emotions, long-buried desires, and truths you've tried to keep hidden. Suddenly, small feelings feel enormous. Quiet thoughts echo like thunder. It's like standing under a magnifying glass where everything in your inner world is blown up larger than life. For the chosen ones, this is both a blessing and a warning. You'll see people overreacting to the smallest sparks, arguments exploding out of nowhere, laughter turning into mania, sadness sinking deeper than expected. But you'll also see fortunes flip, doors opening for some, crashing shut for others, all in the same breath. On this day, clarity won't come gently, it will roar, and those who have been suppressing what they feel will have no choice but to face it, while those who have been waiting for a sign will suddenly see the spotlight fall directly on them. This is not a day to underestimate. It's the moment where buried emotions and unspoken truths become impossible to keep contained. Chosen ones burn hotter under the same sun. The sun still roars through Leo, pouring out raw confidence, visibility, and exposure. But while everyone else just feels a little more restless, the chosen ones can't escape the spotlight. You glow differently this week, and whether you like it or not, the world notices. The moon sweeps past Jupiter, Venus, and Mercury in rapid fire, one alignment after another, like sparks against a fire. magnifies what's already inside of you. This means your thoughts carry more weight. Your emotions echo more loudly. Your very presence feels amplified. You walk into a room, and people stop mid-thought. They don't know why. Some stare as if you're a magnet. Others tense up, reacting like your existence exposes something in them they'd rather keep hidden. This is why you may notice strangers acting oddly around you, lingering glances, nervous smiles, or even sudden irritation. It isn't random. Your energy is turned up like a broadcast tower, and others are forced to tune in whether they want to or not. Your aura this week is a mirror. People don't see you, they see themselves reflected back. For the chosen ones, this isn't comfortable. It can feel like being under a constant spotlight, where even the smallest move is magnified in other people's eyes. But this is exactly why this week matters. You're not meant to shrink back. You're meant to carry the weight of that visibility, to walk with it, and to notice how people react. Not for their sake, but for your own clarity. The heat you're feeling isn't just solar, it's spiritual pressure. It's the universe reminding you you cannot hide. Not anymore. Vanity is the easiest chain to wear, and the hardest one to break. On August 20th, the moon merges with Venus, the planet of beauty, charm, and approval. This alignment doesn't just shimmer, it tempts. Venus whispers to you, do they like me? Do I look good enough? Am I being admired? And under the moon's light, those whispers become harder to ignore. This is the trap of the day. You may find yourself scrolling too long, comparing yourself to others, feeling the need to post, perform, or prove something. You may notice old insecurities rising, as if your worth is being weighed against the eyes of everyone around you. But here's the truth. What shines from within cannot be dimmed by the opinions of others. The moon conjunct Venus tests whether you've truly anchored your value in yourself, or if you're still waiting for it to be handed back to you in compliments and validation. It isn't just about vanity in the physical sense, it's about craving approval, chasing applause, or molding yourself to be accepted. For chosen ones, this day can feel especially tricky because your energy is already amplified this week. The spotlight is brighter, and with that comes temptation to perform, to play into the role others expect of you, to polish your shine, so it's palatable, instead of letting your raw authenticity radiate without filter. But that's the lesson here, authenticity over approval. Venus can dazzle, but it can also deceive. And on this day, the test is simple but sharp. Will you remember that your worth has never depended on the outside? This is a day where the spiritual battle isn't out there, it's in the mirror. There comes a moment when the world stops overlooking you and starts reflecting you. This third week of August doesn't just stir up energies in the heavens, it stirs up recognition in the physical world. For so long, many of you have carried your path quietly, unnoticed by those around you. You've walked through years where your presence felt invisible, where your contributions were overlooked, where your uniqueness seemed to vanish in the background noise of ordinary life. But this week marks a turning point. The veil shifts, and suddenly others can't help but notice you. It may come in small ways at first. A stranger remembering your name after only hearing it once. A friend repeating something you said weeks ago, as if it left a lasting mark. Or someone unexpectedly acknowledging the weight of your presence. For some, it will be more dramatic. Old connections resurfacing, people speaking of you when you're not there, or finding yourself called into spaces you never expected to be part of. Recognition is not given, it's triggered when destiny makes you visible. The cosmic alignments of this week act like a mirror, reflecting your inner uniqueness back through the world around you. Jupiter amplifies, Venus tempts, Mercury stirs conversations, and the moon passes through them all, meaning your very energy is magnified and broadcasted. What this does is simple but profound. The role you've always carried in silence begins to echo outward. People start to sense that you are not like the rest, that there is something about you that cannot be ignored. But here's the truth most won't tell you. Being recognized isn't always comfortable. Some will celebrate you, admire you, and finally see the light you've been carrying. But others will feel uneasy, even threatened, as if your uniqueness reminds them of what they've buried within themselves. This is why this recognition may come with mixed reactions. Some eyes will look at you with awe, while others will watch with suspicion. Both, however, are signs of your visibility rising. For the chosen ones, this is the reward and the responsibility. You're not being seen just to feed the ego. You're being seen because the time has come for the world to acknowledge the role you were always meant to play. The whispers, the glances, the sudden invitations, they are confirmations that the spiritual work you've done in silence is now breaking into the open. To be recognized is not about fame, it's about the world finally catching up to who you already are. This week, when you notice people remembering you, acknowledging you, or even quietly observing you, don't dismiss it. These are signals that your energy field has become too expansive to be ignored. You are stepping into a timeline where your uniqueness is no longer just for you, it's being reflected back, so you understand the weight of your presence in shaping what comes next. This recognition is not random, it's not accidental, it is the world, under the pressure of cosmic timing, being forced to admit what it has overlooked for far too long, that you are not ordinary. You never were, and now your uniqueness can no longer remain hidden. Someone will appear this week living the life you almost had. This is one of the strangest, most unnerving phenomena that happens during spiritually heightened weeks like this one, the mirror reversal effect. It doesn't strike every day, but when it does, it leaves a mark that you can't unsee. You'll find yourself confronted with a reflection, not in the glass but in the world around you. It may come through a person you meet, a social media post that catches your attention, or even a story you hear in passing, and suddenly, you'll realize what you're looking at is a version of yourself that almost existed. This is not coincidence. This is not random. The energy this week bends timelines, pulling forward the shadows of the lives you escaped. You may see someone living the career you abandoned, the relationship you walked away from, or the lifestyle you left behind. It won't always be a perfect match, but it will be close enough to jolt you. It will be close enough to whisper, "This could have been you." The mirror doesn't show what you want, it shows what you almost became. For many chosen ones, this effect is not here to torment you, but to finalize closure. You're being shown the parallel path you nearly stayed on, so that you understand fully and deeply why you left it behind. These encounters act like karmic bookmarks, closing chapters that might still have been tugging at the back of your spirit. The universe doesn't want you looking backward. It wants to seal the old gates so your energy can move forward without confusion or regret. But don't underestimate how powerful this moment can feel. Seeing your inverse can shake you to the core. It can stir strange emotions, envy, relief, grief, even guilt. You may feel a pang of longing as you wonder what that life would have been like. Or you may feel an intense wave of gratitude that you were spared it. Both reactions are natural, because this phenomenon isn't just about observation, it's about recognition. It's about finally admitting, that's not my path. It never was, and here lies the deeper secret. The mirror reversal effect isn't only about you looking at them, it's also about them looking at you, without even realizing it. They too may sense something, a flicker of awareness that they are seeing the life they did not choose. In these brief intersections, timelines glance at each other, acknowledge each other, and then drift apart once more. The loop closes, the karmic branch ends, and you walk forward lighter. This isn't punishment, it's confirmation. You did not miss your destiny, you avoided your detour. So if this week you find yourself staring at someone who feels like a distorted echo of you, don't spiral, don't overthink it. Understand what's happening. You are witnessing a closing door, one you no longer need to peer through. The universe is reminding you that your choices, no matter how difficult they were, rerouted you toward the destiny you were meant to carry. The reflection may sting, it may tempt, but ultimately it confirms your freedom. This week, some of you will see your shadow life reflected back at you, but instead of dragging you down, it's meant to leave you standing taller, more certain than ever that the life you've chosen, the battles you've fought, the detours you've survived, is the one that leads to the truth of who you are becoming. On August 21st, something subtle but powerful unfolds. When the moon aligns with Mercury, the air itself feels alive with voices, but these are not always your own. This is the day of whispers in the dark. Thoughts will come that sound like you, but are not you. You may suddenly hear a sentence in your mind that doesn't feel natural. An idea may press itself into you with a force that feels alien, like it was inserted rather than born. Some of you will feel like your own thoughts are arguing with each other, pulling you in opposite directions. This is not ordinary overthinking. This is the thin veil between intuition and interference tearing open. On this day, chosen ones must be on high alert, because Mercury rules messages, communication, and the channel of the mind. Its conjunction with the moon doesn't just speak, it echoes, it amplifies, it carries whispers that ride through your emotions, making them feel true, whether they are or not. Some of those whispers will be divine nudges from your higher self, gentle reminders from your guides, truths that surface with crystalline clarity. Others, however, will be deceptive voices designed to push you off course, to sow doubt, or to trick you into mistaking fear for intuition. This day will test if you know the sound of your own soul. The great challenge of the 21st is discernment. Are you listening to the whisper of wisdom or the whisper of temptation? One voice will bring peace, even if it challenges you. The other will bring unease, even if it promises shortcuts. The counterfeit always rushes, pressures, and confuses. The authentic voice calms, centers, and aligns. Do not be surprised if synchronicities come heavily this day. A song lyric, a phrase overheard, a line in a book. Mercury will use every medium to plant words in front of you, but not all of them are meant to be taken as guidance. Some are decoys, some are distractions, some are mirrors of your fears. The spiritual battlefield of the 21st is your own mind, and winning it means knowing that silence is sometimes louder than whispers. On this day, resist the urge to act on every thought. Pause, test the whispers. Not every message deserves obedience. Your freedom on this day will not come from following voices, but from recognizing which ones are false. Whatever isn't settled by the 23rd will be spiritually frozen for months. The new moon on August 23rd will fool many. Most believe every new moon is a chance to start fresh, to set intentions, to dream up the life they desire. But this one is not like the others. This new moon is not an open door, it is a lock clicking shut. This isn't about new beginnings, this is about finalization. This is the cosmic court stamping a file, closing the case and saying, this is what stands. By the time the 23rd arrives, the choices you've been weighing, the ties you've been considering cutting, the commitments you've been wavering on, if they are not decided, they will be decided for you. And once sealed, they will remain sealed for months. The universe isn't asking you to dream, it's asking you to decide what deserves to remain in your orbit. If you've been holding on to dead weight, this is the week to release it before the new moon locks it in place. If you've been afraid to choose, this is the moment to choose, because after the 23rd, the path calcifies. This new moon doesn't ask, what do you want? It demands, what do you still carry? And whatever answer you give, consciously or unconsciously, becomes law. This is why the days leading up to the 23rd feel like pressure. You may feel a sudden urgency to resolve arguments, to finish lingering tasks, to speak truths that have been unsaid. That urgency isn't paranoia, it's alignment. Your spirit knows the seal is coming, and it wants to make sure you aren't locked inside with something you don't want. Understand, manifestation under this new moon is not about calling in the new, it is about crystallizing what remains. So don't waste energy wishing, projecting, or fantasizing. Instead, look around you. What is here now? Who is here now? What commitments have actually survived the storms of this year? Those are the only things being sealed. This is not the time to manifest, it is the time to finalize. So as the 23rd arrives, step carefully, say goodbye to what cannot continue, or it will cling to you for months. Affirm what must stay, or it will drift away. The door is closing, and when it does, your orbit will be fixed. This is the lockdown of destiny, not a punishment, but a protection. By freezing the right pieces in place, the universe ensures that when the tides turn again, you'll be standing on a foundation solid enough to hold your ascent. You'll be shown one thread this week. In the chaos of this third week of August, when emotions run high, alignments twist the air, and illusions blur the path, something rare and quiet slips through. A single thread, thin, almost invisible, but unmistakable, if you're paying attention. This is what I call the golden thread. It will not arrive with a thunderclap. It will not force itself into your hands. In fact, most people will walk right past it, dismissing it as coincidence, as nothing, as background noise. But for those awake, this moment glows. It could be a person whose words pierce deeper than they should, even in casual conversation. It could be a sudden phrase you overhear that vibrates through your body, like a code you were meant to hear. It could be an opportunity that feels oddly familiar, like you've seen it before in a dream. The golden thread is subtle, but it is magnetic. Not loud, not overwhelming, but quietly irresistible. This is the universe's way of handing you a doorway without announcing it. The great test of this moment is awareness. The thread will not repeat. If you ignore it, it will not return in another form. If you hesitate, it will not wait. The cosmos gives it once, places it before you gently, and steps back. And in that instant, your discernment decides whether your next chapter unravels or remains hidden. Because the golden thread is not just an opportunity, it's alignment, perfectly timed. It is not random. It is the universe's way of saying, you are ready now. And if you are ready enough to notice, then you are ready yourself. Because sometimes it takes only one thread, one chance, one pull, and the entire fabric of your life can shift. If you've made it this far, thank you for your time and presence. If this message spoke to you, consider subscribing to stay connected. Your support truly means a lot. Share your reflections or experiences in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Until next time, take care, stay aware, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful insights.